Hi guys, this is Roisin from Square Go Gamers. I hope you've been enjoying our videos so far. Don't forget to subscribe and like and comment below if there's anything you want us to play. We've got a couple of things lined up that we have in store for you guys, but if there's anything you really want us to play, then let us know because we're open to ideas. So although the levels in Spyro aren't actually numerical and you don't have to do them in any order, this is the first level that you should encounter. So a lot of the things you see here in this level will be quite basic from the dragons and things like that. So this is our first dragon in here. Oh bang! Oh, it's so satisfying to smash all of that at once. Yes! Go Spyro! Awesome. Okay, so this is our first dragon of this level. Technically it should be our second dragon in the whole game, I think.
When you free a dragon or step on one of their platforms, you're saving your progress. That could be useful if you run into trouble. Not that you ever run into trouble.
No, he doesn't totally go looking for it and isn't a trouble magnet. Trouble is Spyro's middle name. I wonder what Spyro's last name is. If you know, comment below. I have no idea if he has a last name. That would be awesome. Spyro. I was actually reading that they wanted to originally call him Pete and they weren't actually able to call him Pete because obviously Pete the Dragon was taken and Disney just sued them. So they thought of Pyro and they didn't really like it, and then someone said Spyro, which was quite cool. So yeah, that's how Spyro got named. I know, I'm sure there's like lots of other things as well in there.
After you've freed all the dragons, pass through this fancy vortex thingamajig.
Thingamajig. I think you have to be over a certain age to say thingamajig, and at least have at least one grandchild or a couple of cats.
No thanks. See ya.
Wow, that was subtle, Spyro, subtle. So there's a hidden bit down. Oh, if Spyro would just come on, there we go. Yes, there's a hidden area down here. So as a kid, I spent ages looking for this, these hidden gems down here. So this is like a wee cave of wonders. Well, a cave of tea and chess, but yeah, cave of wonders. I mean, as a kid, like, oh god, this came out 20 years ago. You couldn't just look up the answer in a gaming forum or just Google it and it'll come up if you're really that bad. You had to buy magazines and hope to God it was in the magazine that you bought that area was. Or you had to hope that one of your pals found it, and when you'd met up at school the next day you'd be like, oh, guess what I found? Oh no, don't fly up there. It's total bragging rights in school, like if you could, if you got a certain area that you know your friends were getting at. It was quite good. Yeah, I was always a geek, it's not just as an adult. Gavin. That's the most undragon name ever. We have a hipster dragon, guys.
Watch the dragonfly, Spyro. His color indicates his power.
Wow,
When he
tattoos,
eats
a
butterflies,
percolator,
he stays strong,
races,
like me.
nose ring,
Sure.
and check out that tash. That is, yeah, that is definitely the most hipster dragon there ever was. You wouldn't have had that in the 1980s, 1998. So you would have been mistaken for someone at the village people back then. You'd have been very confused. Take that. Wahaha. Oh no, there's an egg guy in this level. So I think it's quite interesting that the enemies in this, they actually seek you out, and then they actually taunt you. This was the first game of its kind to do that. Back in 1990, well, when it was being developed in 1996, it definitely wasn't. But when it was released in 1998, it was the first game that enemies actually seeked you out. So these, I mean, that ram, like, you just ran right for me. And they taunt you, which is wonderful, like this wee guy, which is great. And also he changes where he runs as well, depending on where you chase them. So that is a great thing, that it really opened up the world of gaming and made it a lot more challenging, and it wasn't just a case you could just remember where everything was. So Gildas, that's a bit of a better dragon name.
Spyro, my friend, how about a hint on gliding?
You bet.
For the longest glide, press the jump button at the top of your jump, and try pressing the action button to drop down mid-flight.
So considering that this was light years ahead of its time, like I said before, released in 1998 and produced and developed in 1996, there was only 6 people who were on the developing team for this, which is just crazy because 20 years later you had just less than 200 people working on this. Oh, there's the edge of the world. So I mean, just there, you don't just see the edge of the world. It's not just kind of dark or foggy, or I mean, you can look for miles and miles, and the level of detail and rendering is crazy. And to think there was only a team of 6, there was only one animator in all of that, and most of the game, the majority of the game, was hand coded. Like that is amazing. Like, I mean, I was fangirling before I knew just how amazing that was, but I mean, it was 2 years in development. I mean, no wonder. I mean, look at this roof. Like, the remastered, now that I know there was 200 people, well, less than 200 people working on this, I mean, they must have done, like, such love and admiration, considering how good it was for just 6 people originally. But then maybe that's why the game was so good and so concise, and it had very well thought out ideas. So the levels and the worlds in this, it wasn't a case of, in the 90s there was always kind of like a fire level, an ice level, like a water level. In this, there are those elements, but the world had whole themes. So you had the artists, and you had peacemakers, which we'll go on to next, and the dreamcasters, which were the magicians and things like that. So it totally took concepts and ran with it. But I guess if you're only working with 6 people, it's less people to argue against and fight against for your point. So that's probably why it was so concise and why it was so well made. Oh, I've just got to go and try and find how many gems I'm missing. Okay, so like I said before, I'm gonna have to find these gems because I don't like to end levels without completing them, because I'm a big sado, and it hurts me to see the fact that there's things still to be found. Which is why I think it's as a kid playing games like this that things were hidden for so long, that it pained me to see it. So the composer for this as well is a guy called Stuart Copeland, who was actually, it was actually a comment by one of my friends below on one of my videos that told me this. It was the drummer from Police, which is amazing. So I looked him up to see what other games he did. So he did the original Spyro, and then he came back. Yeah, we edited out how long I looked for those gems. So he came back and redid it. And the only other game he's ever did music for was a game called Alone in the Dark, the New Nightmare, which is a far cry from this, as it's a survival horror. So I hope you've enjoyed our video so far, and catch us on our next video for more crazy Spyro facts. Bye guys!